Welcome to our Sunday tribute. This week, we honor the legendary wrestlers we've lost in recent years, reflecting on their profound contributions to the world of wrestling. Their impact remains strong, and their legacies inspire us all. We'll also address some somber news about Charlotte Flair, whose recent developments have deeply affected many fans. Join us as we celebrate their remarkable lives through heartfelt tributes and cherished memories. Subscribe to stay connected and ensure their inspiring stories continue to resonate. Droz, born Darren Drozdov on April 7, 1969, in Mays Landing, New Jersey, was a professional wrestler and former NFL player known for his time in WWE during the late 1990s. Before wrestling, Droz was a talented athlete who played college football at the University of Maryland as a standout defensive lineman. He went on to play in the NFL for the Denver Broncos, New York Jets, and Philadelphia Eagles. During his football career, he gained a unique nickname, Puke, for his unusual ability to vomit on command, a skill later showcased in WWE's documentary Beyond the Mat. Droz entered the wrestling world in 1998, joining WWE as part of the Legion of Doom, adopting the ring name Puke. His look, tattoos, piercings, and a mohawk perfectly matched WWE's edgy Attitude Era. As a wrestler, he was quickly gaining traction, impressing fans with his intensity and charisma. Tragically, Droz's wrestling career was during a WWE SmackDown taping. A botched move in a match against D'Lo Brown caused a severe neck injury, leaving him paralyzed from the neck down. The injury ended his in-ring career and dramatically altered his life. Despite this devastating setback, Droz remained a positive and inspirational figure within the wrestling community. He stayed connected to WWE, contributing through columns for their website and making occasional appearances. His resilience and courage in facing adversity earned him deep respect from fans and colleagues alike. Droz, his prompted, heartfelt tributes from the wrestling world, honoring not only his athletic talent, but also his unwavering spirit. Though his wrestling career was brief, Droz's legacy of strength and perseverance continues to inspire many. Robert Miller, better known as Bushwhacker Butch, was born on October 21, 1944, in Auckland, New Zealand. He became a beloved figure in professional wrestling, famous for his lively persona and comedic style. Butch is best remembered as one half of the iconic tag team, the Bushwhackers, alongside his longtime partner, Luke Williams. Together, they captured the hearts of fans in the late 1980s and 1990s while competing in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. Their unique charm and signature marching entrance made them stand out in a crowded tag team scene. Before becoming the Bushwhackers, Butch had a solid wrestling career in New Zealand and Australia. In the 1970s, he and Luke teamed up as the Sheepherders, a fierce and aggressive duo known for their tough, hard-hitting style. Their intensity earned them respect and a strong following in various wrestling territories. However, it was their transformation into the Bushwhackers, a more playful and entertaining version of themselves, that propelled them to international stardom. With exaggerated gestures, goofy antics, and a fan-friendly attitude, the duo became one of wrestling's most memorable tag teams. The Bushwhackers' charisma was especially evident on television, where their comedic performances brought a fresh and light-hearted energy to the wrestling world. They took part in many notable matches and rivalries, leaving an indelible mark on the tag team division. Butch Miller remained dedicated to wrestling for decades, and even after his in-ring career slowed down, his influence and legacy endured. He, leaving behind a legacy of joy, entertainment, and passion for wrestling. The Bushwhackers continue to be celebrated as symbols of fun and excitement in the sport's rich history. Winona Littleheart was a trailblazing Native American professional wrestler born on September 5, 1955. As a proud member of the Choctaw Nation, she broke barriers during the 1970s and 1980s, a period when women's wrestling was still fighting for recognition in the largely male-dominated sports world. Winona used her platform not only to showcase her incredible athleticism, but also to bring much-needed visibility to Indigenous women in sports and entertainment. She trained intensely, developing a powerful in-ring persona that combined skill, charisma, and a fierce fighting spirit. Littleheart quickly gained respect for her signature moves and relentless style, earning a reputation as a tough competitor across multiple wrestling promotions. Her dedication and talent shone through despite the many challenges she faced as a woman of color in a tough industry that often overlooked female wrestlers. Beyond her achievements inside the ring, Winona was deeply committed to advocacy. She used her growing fame to highlight indigenous rights and push for greater representation of Native Americans in sports and media. This dual focus on both wrestling excellence and social activism made her an important role model for many, inspiring future generations of wrestlers, especially women of indigenous heritage. Winona Littlehart's career helped pave the way for the evolution of women's wrestling, elevating it from a niche attraction to a respected sport. Sadly, but her legacy lives on. Today, she is remembered not only as a fierce competitor, but also as a pioneer who broke down barriers and fought for equality and representation in professional wrestling. Her story remains a powerful testament to the strength and spirit of Indigenous women and their enduring impact on the wrestling world. Mike Sharp, born October 28, 1951, was a Canadian professional wrestler whose career left a lasting impression on the wrestling world. Known for his strong build and dedication, Sharp became a recognizable figure in numerous wrestling promotions, especially the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, throughout the 1980s and early 1990s. Sharp started wrestling in the late 1970s and quickly gained attention for his solid in-ring skills and commanding presence. One of his trademarks was the sharpshooter, a move that highlighted his technical ability and agility. Throughout his career, he faced some of wrestling's biggest legends, including Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, earning respect from both fans and fellow wrestlers. Though he never won major championships, Sharp was highly valued as a dependable competitor who consistently delivered strong performances. He was well known for his professionalism and his ability to make other wrestlers look good, helping to elevate many rising stars in the ring. His natural charisma and genuine passion for wrestling endeared him to audiences and promoters alike. Outside of the spotlight, Sharp was admired for his work ethic and commitment to the sport, qualities that earned him a lasting place in the hearts of wrestling fans. His role as a veteran in the industry helped shape many careers and contributed to the growth of professional wrestling during his era. Mike Sharp, but his legacy of hard work, determination, and respect for wrestling lives on. Though he may not have held major titles, his impact on the wrestling community remains significant. Fans and colleagues continue to remember him fondly, celebrating the dedication and passion he brought to the squared circle throughout his life. Roddy Piper, born Roderick George Toombs on April 17, 1954, in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling. Known as Hot Rod, Piper's brash personality, razor-sharp wit, and unmatched mic skills made him one of the most memorable performers of the 1980s wrestling boom, especially in WWE, then WWF. He was a master at stirring emotions in the crowd, often playing the villain in some of wrestling's most iconic rivalries, including his famous feud with Hulk Hogan leading up to the first WrestleMania in 1985. Piper's career spanned several decades and multiple major promotions such as WWE, NWA, AWA, and WCW. Beyond his in-ring talent, he revolutionized wrestling promos with his legendary interview segment, Piper's Pit, which became a platform for some of wrestling's most unforgettable moments. His ability to connect with fans through storytelling and charisma elevated the art of professional wrestling and influenced generations of performers. Tragically, Roddy Piper, due to a heart attack caused by a pulmonary embolism. He had battled health issues, including high blood pressure, but his sudden shocked the wrestling community worldwide. His passing left a deep void for his family, fans, and fellow wrestlers, who honored his legacy through heartfelt tributes. Roddy Piper's impact on professional wrestling goes far beyond his matches. His larger-than-life personality, innovative promo work, and emotional storytelling helped shape wrestling's culture and remain a lasting influence on the industry. Even years after his, Piper is remembered as one of wrestling's greatest performers and an enduring icon of the sport. Jerry Winston Jarrett, September 4, 1942, 2023, was a legendary figure in professional wrestling, known for his impact as a promoter, businessman, and wrestler. Hailed as a wrestling genius, Jarrett's influence was especially felt in the mid-southern United States, where he helped shape the regional wrestling scene and elevate the sport's popularity. His contributions earned him induction into the National Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame in 2009, cementing his legacy in wrestling history. Jarrett began his wrestling career in the 1960s after training under Tojo Yamamoto and Sailor Moran. He made his in-ring debut in 1965 and formed a successful tag team with Yamamoto, primarily competing for NWA Mid-America. Throughout his career, he captured multiple championships, including the NWA Mid-America Tag Team and Southern Tag Team titles. Though Jarrett retired from active wrestling in 1988, he occasionally returned to compete in the early 1990s for his own promotion. His real mark on wrestling came as a promoter. In 1977, Jarrett founded the Continental Wrestling Association, CWA, in Memphis, Tennessee. Partnering with wrestling icon Jerry Lawler, they transformed Memphis into one of wrestling's hottest territories. In 1989, Jarrett merged the CWA with World Class Championship Wrestling, forming the United States Wrestling Association, USWA, which became a key promotion in the industry. He eventually sold his stake in the USWA to Lawler in 1997. Jarrett continued his influence by co-founding NWA, Total Nonstop Action, TNA, wrestling in 2002 alongside his son Jeff Jarrett. He sold his controlling interest to Panda Energy International, helping launch what would become a major wrestling promotion. Jerry Jarrett, remembered as a cornerstone of professional wrestling, whose visionary work shaped countless careers and left an enduring legacy in the sport. Salvatore Bellomo, born June 18, 1951, in Hornu, Belgium, was a beloved professional wrestler whose career impressively spanned over 40 years, rising to prominence in the 1980s with the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. Bellomo quickly captured fans' attention with his energetic style and charismatic presence. Known for blending technical wrestling skill with remarkable agility, he became a favorite among audiences during his WWF tenure, showcasing a style that was both exciting and technically sound. After his time in the WWF, Bellomo continued to make his mark across the wrestling world. In the 1990s, he appeared in Eastern Championship Wrestling, an organization that would later evolve into Extreme Championship Wrestling, AC Tansa Ichishamei, ECW, further demonstrating his adaptability and passion for wrestling's evolving landscape. Bellomo also competed extensively throughout Europe, particularly in the Catch Wrestling Association, where his international experience added depth to his career and broadened his fan base. Bellomo's dedication to professional wrestling extended beyond performing in the ring. He was also a respected trainer, generously sharing his knowledge and expertise with up-and-coming wrestlers. His commitment to mentoring the next generation reflected his love for the sport and desire to give back to the wrestling community that had shaped his life. Remaining active in wrestling well into his later years, Bellomo's lifelong passion never waned. Sadly, after a battle with cancer. Despite his passing, Salvatore Bellomo's legacy endures through the memories of fans and colleagues alike. He is remembered not only for his vibrant in-ring performances, but also for his unwavering spirit and lasting contributions to the professional wrestling industry. His impact continues to inspire those who loved and respected him throughout his remarkable career. Ashley Elizabeth Flyer, Bramaupsanalforuma Endasapafire, better known worldwide as Charlotte Flair, is one of professional wrestling's brightest stars, whose journey is deeply entwined with her legendary family legacy and her own relentless pursuit of excellence. Born on April 5, 1986, in Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte's life has been shaped not only by the wrestling world she was born into, but also by the unique pressures and challenges of carving her own path in an industry where her father's shadow looms large. Charlotte Flair's story is one of ambition, talent, controversy, resilience, and transformation. From her early days as a rookie to becoming one of WWE's most dominant and celebrated women's champions, Charlotte has continually broken barriers while grappling with public scrutiny both inside and outside the squared circle. This article explores her rise, her recent successes, the personal challenges she has faced, and the rumors and controversies that surround her, painting a comprehensive portrait of one of wrestling's most complex and compelling figures. A wrestling royalty born, the early years and influences. Being the daughter of Ric Flair, a man whose name is synonymous with professional wrestling greatness, Charlotte's entry into the world of sports entertainment was arguably predestined. Ric Flair, known as the Nature Boy, is one of the most decorated and charismatic figures in wrestling history. His flamboyant style, incredible in-ring storytelling, and record-setting championship reigns set a standard few have matched. Yet from the beginning, Charlotte was determined not to simply be Ric Flair's daughter. Growing up watching her father's career unfold gave her unique insight into the demands of the business, the highs and lows of fame, and the physical and mental toughness required to succeed. But it also meant an enormous weight of expectation rested on her shoulders. Fans and critics alike would scrutinize whether she could step out of her father's immense shadow and prove her own worth. Charlotte officially entered the wrestling world in 2012, signing with WWE's developmental territory, NXT. Her debut marked the beginning of a rapid ascent fueled by her undeniable athleticism, charisma, and in-ring skills. Early on, it was clear Charlotte was not content with merely being a footnote in her father's legacy. She was determined to build her own. Rise to stardom, breaking barriers and making history. Charlotte Flair's impact on WWE has been profound, both in terms of championship accomplishments and in the evolution of women's wrestling. She emerged as a pivotal figure during WWE's Women's Revolution, a movement aimed at elevating women's wrestling from a sideshow attraction to a main event-worthy spectacle. Charlotte was the first woman to headline a WWE pay-per-view event, a landmark moment symbolizing a dramatic shift in the industry. She's a multiple-time Raw Women's Champion and SmackDown Women's Champion, and she holds the distinction of competing in historic matches, including the first ever Women's Hell in a Cell and the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. These milestones were not just personal achievements, but important milestones for WWE and wrestling fans worldwide. Charlotte became a face of change, a bridge between traditional wrestling values and a new era where women were no longer just participants, but headliners. Her wrestling style, a blend of technical proficiency, power moves, and dramatic storytelling, earned praise from fans and experts. Charlotte's matches were often main event caliber affairs, delivering emotional stakes and athletic feats that helped reshape perceptions of women's wrestling. The return and recent triumphs, cementing her legacy. After a brief hiatus from WWE, Charlotte Flair made a highly anticipated return, much to the excitement of fans and commentators alike. Upon her return, Charlotte quickly re-established herself at the apex of the women's division, demonstrating that her legacy was far from over. One of the most significant recent milestones in her career was winning the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. This victory was not merely symbolic, but also a powerful statement that Charlotte remains one of WWE's most dominant and relevant female performers. The Royal Rumble win set the stage for a blockbuster title match at WrestleMania 41, where she was slated to challenge reigning champion Tiffany Stratton. This matchup was highly anticipated, as it pitted the established veteran and legacy carrier against a new generation star, highlighting the ongoing evolution of WWE's women's roster. Charlotte's victory in the Royal Rumble reaffirmed her ability to adapt, remain competitive, and inspire fans amid a constantly changing wrestling landscape. Moreover, her work ethic and professionalism have been noted by WWE officials and fellow wrestlers alike. Despite the passage of time and the influx of fresh talent, Charlotte's commitment to excellence keeps her a fixture at the top of the card. Personal life. Under the spotlight, relationships, and public scrutiny. While Charlotte Flair's professional life has been characterized by success and resilience, her personal life has often been the subject of intense public interest and speculation. Charlotte has been married multiple times, with her relationships frequently making headlines, particularly because some of her spouses were also involved in the wrestling business. Her most recent marriage was to fellow professional wrestler Manuel Alfonso Andrade Oropeza, better known in WWE as Andrade. The couple's union from 2022 to 2024 was highly visible and generated much discussion among fans. As two high-profile athletes within WWE, their relationship was often featured in wrestling media, both for their on-screen chemistry and off-screen dynamics. Before Andrade, Charlotte was married to Tom Latimer, a fellow wrestler from 2013 to 2015, and earlier to Ricky Johnson from 2010 to 2013. These relationships, some of which coincided with major points in her career, have fueled rumors and speculation about how her personal life might affect her in-ring performance. Following her recent divorce from Andrade, questions surfaced regarding the emotional toll such a split might have on Charlotte. Fans and commentators debated whether the challenges of personal upheaval could interfere with her professional focus and momentum. While Charlotte herself has consistently asserted that her private life remains separate from her career, the media spotlight inevitably blurs those lines. Controversies and rumors, nepotism, favoritism, and the battle for respect. Despite Charlotte Flair's many accomplishments, her career has not been without controversy. One of the most persistent rumors is that her success is due largely to her father's influence in WWE, rather than purely her own merit. Many fans and critics continue to debate whether Charlotte's rise was facilitated by backstage connections and legacy privileges. This criticism, often voiced in wrestling forums and social media, suggests that while Charlotte is talented, she may have received preferential treatment, overshadowing other female wrestlers who some believe are equally or more deserving. For Charlotte, Ric Flair's legacy has been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it opened doors and provided a platform. On the other hand, it subjected her to relentless scrutiny and skepticism. The challenge for Charlotte has been to silence those doubters by consistently proving her capabilities in the ring. In addition to nepotism claims, rumors about backstage politics and favoritism have circulated within the wrestling community. Some wrestlers and insiders suggest WWE management has strategically pushed Charlotte as the face of the women's division to capitalize on her marketability and pedigree. This has occasionally led to tension among the roster and debates about fairness in booking decisions. WWE management has always maintained that Charlotte's success stems from her work ethic, charisma, and skill. Yet the perception of favoritism remains a polarizing topic among fans and critics alike. The pressure to maintain perfection and mental health considerations, being one of WWE's flagship stars, carries enormous pressure. For Charlotte Flair, the expectation to perform flawlessly, both in the ring and in public, is relentless. She is widely regarded as the standard bearer of the women's division, and every match, promo, or public appearance is scrutinized in detail. This pressure to maintain an image of perfection can be exhausting. The constant evaluation by fans, critics, and media can take a mental toll, a fact Charlotte has alluded to in interviews. Speculation about her mental health has occasionally surfaced, fueled by concerns over the intense workload and emotional stress top wrestlers face. Mental health awareness has grown in the wrestling industry, with many stars speaking openly about the challenges behind the scenes. Charlotte's story is often cited as a reminder of the human side of wrestling superstars who, despite their larger-than-life personas, deal with real-life struggles. The impact of divorce and public relationships on her image. Charlotte's multiple marriages, especially the high-profile one with Andrade, have added another layer of complexity to her public persona. Relationships in wrestling are often amplified by the fan base and media, with personal matters sometimes spilling over into on-screen narratives. The recent divorce from Andrade led to rumors that her personal turmoil might affect her in-ring performance. Some feared the emotional challenges could destabilize her focus or diminish her on-screen charisma. Charlotte, however, has publicly denied that her personal life interferes with her professional commitments. She has continued to perform at a high level, demonstrating resilience amid personal upheaval. Still, the combination of public interest in her private life and the pressures of being a top performer means Charlotte's image is under constant scrutiny, creating a challenging balancing act between privacy and celebrity. Looking ahead, Charlotte Flair's future in WWE. Despite the controversies, rumors, and personal challenges, Charlotte Flair remains an undeniable force in WWE. Her recent Royal Rumble victory and the upcoming title match at WrestleMania 41 serve as proof that she is far from finished making history. Charlotte's legacy is one of perseverance, athletic excellence, and breaking barriers in women's wrestling. As WWE continues to evolve, the emergence of new stars will challenge her position, but Charlotte has demonstrated the ability to adapt and reinvent herself. Her path forward will depend on how she manages the physical demands of wrestling, the mental and emotional pressures of the spotlight, and the ongoing battles with critics and doubters. One thing is clear, Charlotte Flair's story is far from over. She is a wrestler who has fought hard to define herself on her own terms, continually striving to live up to and surpass the expectations set by her legendary surname. Conclusion: Charlotte Flair's journey is a compelling narrative of legacy, talent, controversy, and perseverance. From the moment she stepped into the ring, Charlotte faced the daunting task of proving herself beyond the legacy of Ric Flair. Through championship victories, historic matches, and a commitment to elevating women's wrestling, she has carved out her own place in history. Her personal life, marked by high-profile relationships and divorces, has added complexity to her public image. Rumors about nepotism and favoritism persist, yet Charlotte's work ethic and in-ring prowess continue to silence many critics. As she prepares to defend her position at WrestleMania 41, Charlotte Flair exemplifies the resilience and determination required to thrive in the world of professional wrestling. She is a symbol of the evolving role of women in WWE and a testament to the enduring power of wrestling royalty. Charlotte Flair's name is etched not only in the records but in the hearts of wrestling fans worldwide, and her legacy will continue to grow as she faces the future with the same fierce spirit that has defined her career.